Welcome back, everyone, to an awesome episode of TSG and Scoriox presents Augment today. We have a special guest on today. We have a fellow Shiny Shards member. I'm in the Shiny Shards. We have a fellow Shiny Shards member, Poor Man Printing, and we will be streaming the Shiny Shards more often, me and Poor Man, so that's super exciting. And of course, with me is my co-host, TSG. We're on his channel today, so I hope a lot of you guys could make it over here. He has some really awesome content, a lot of great gameplay things too. So definitely get hyped for that with the beta ramping up and continuing to ramp up. There's going to be lots to talk about this. So definitely make sure to subscribe down below. So today we have some really awesome things. So we're going to be discussing Illuvium, the beta, land, all that sort of stuff. We're also going to be discussing Elon buying Twitter and what that means for the NFT Twitter space and so on and so forth. And the last big thing we're going to be talking about is the Ronin Hack and kind of its implications on the market as a whole, as well as Illuvium and things like that. So welcome. Thanks for joining us, Poor Man.
Hola, no hablo English.
Oh, man. I mean, we've got to switch you out, man.
What's up, guys? What's up? Hey, yeah.
What's good, man?
I'm happy to be here, bro. Pardon the exposure with the cameras. I'm moving my whole setup to stream Illuvium coming at you at a theater near you.
That happens. It happens. How you doing, man?
Doing good, brother. Doing good.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, man. Yo, to start off, I kind of want to, and also, yeah, thanks, Gariox. Again, I'm really glad that we can do this.
Easy.
Yeah, poor man. One of the things I wanted to ask straight off the bat, man, to try just get us into this is before we start getting to the specific topics, I'd love if you could tell us a bit more about your actual experience in crypto, how'd you got into it, how long you've been into it, how you found out about Illuvium, NFT games in general. Kind of just give us that spiel real quick.
Okay. Yeah. I was thinking about this today. So yeah, I'm glad you asked that
cool.
question.
Because I actually don't know. I've been on your channel and we've had a chat, but I don't actually know your story as well. Yeah. So I'm actually super keen.
Okay. So the Poor Man Printing name actually comes from I used to print t-shirts. Pretty much out of my garage. I started out with like trying to build everything the cheapest way, bargain printing, just getting in it nice and slow, doing it at my garage. And I started a little YouTube channel, not too many subscribers, but so I was printing t-shirts and doing okay. And there's nothing wrong with printing t-shirts, but it just wasn't for me,
Right.
It's a lot of
how did you get into that in the first place? Sorry, I want to go in deep. How did you get into that in the first place?
I don't know. I'm always into something.
Yeah. All right, fair play.
Yeah, I mean, I like when I started it, I did like printing t-shirts. I like learning. My first shirt was just all black print, one color, and it was China print press that I bought off Amazon. It's straight up shit. Don't ever do it. Always spend the money to get you something nice. And I worked my way up. I can't remember the name of that press no more, but that press that I did buy next was like $3,000. So I started really moving up, and it was well worth it because printing t-shirts is no joke when you have to have everything lined up perfect.
Yeah.
But I kind of I ain't gonna lie, I seen Dogecoin and I was like, it's pretty cool, like guys making money.
Yeah.
And I was at the end of my road of printing because it was just being too much for me to handle, working 10 12-hour days and coming home into a hot garage and trying to print t-shirts. I'm like, I'm done with it. So I actually sold all of my equipment and I put a little bit in Dogecoin, and I started doing some more research on on crypto and stuff like that. And I made some money off of Dogecoin, and then I found Omi, I found VV, and I kind of went all balls in that one. I took pretty much all the money that I had in printing t-shirts into crypto because I just take risks. It's just how it is. You can sell.
So your introduction to crypto was Dogecoin?
Yeah.
Wild.
Made 12 grand off that.
How long ago was this? Yeah, congrats, man.
When Dogecoin it kind of run up. Well, I got into it around 4 cents, and I sat there and it went to 5 cents. I'm like, okay, I'm making a little bit here. And then Elon went on Saturday Night Live, and I actually sold a fair bit amount of it before Elon went on there.
Good
and
timing.
then it started running up. I'm like, oh shit.
All right.
So I got back in it kind of hard, and around 8 cents, it running all the way up. I knew what was going to happen. I've already educated myself on crypto. I knew what it was about. Ran it all the way up to, I think I sold some at 20 cents. This is not financial advice anyway. So
yeah, of course. Disclaimer.
So I sold some at 20 and it kept running. I'm like, well, shit. I got back in it again. I was like, let's go. Let's chase. Don't ever chase. But I was taking high risk. And then I got back out at like 65 cents, and I didn't get back in it because I knew what was going to happen.
Yeah, right damn. But you played that well then.
Yeah, I did. I made like 12 grand. No lie.
Yeah, damn. And so how did you transition? Like you say you got into Doge and you started to research other stuff. Like how did you transition? How did you find NFT games? What other projects did you kind of find in that research phase?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember how I found Omi. Oh, Stay in Alpha. Y'all know him?
No, not really.
I was watching his channel. He's got a YouTube channel. He's a pretty good guy. He's actually from Florida. And I started watching his channel, and he was the first person to introduce VV and Omi. I was like, man, they got DC, they got some high quality NFTs. So I just started sinking money into it. I did.
Yep.
And then learning more every day. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start my YouTube channel back up and, keep the subscribers I got. If they drop, whatever it is, what it is.
Yeah.
Made my little story, sold all my equipment, got into crypto. Let's see what happens. And yeah, here I am.
Yeah. Yo, Scariox, do you know much about VV in general? Like, are you super aware of what's going on in that space?
Used to be. When I first got in, VV was one of the first projects I got into. I hate to tell my audience, but I sold all my Omi the other day.
Yeah.
What?
There were other things that I was more interested in.
Yeah.
I sold it all. I needed the liquidity too bad. I lost a lot of money in the past.
I was gonna say, did you sell it at a loss?
Be real. I've been selling.
I've sold heaps of stuff at a loss now. I'm deep in the red. But you know what? I mean, the majority of my stuff is in Illuvium, and honestly, all the staking rewards have offset all that. So I'm trying not to and the ETH lizards. Like I would never sell them, but in my head, the gains, the unrealized gains, have offset all the things. And I like my lizards, so it's cool. I mean, I'm just going with the flow at the moment. I'm not really too important. I mean, I still live at home, so it is what it is. But I used to know a bit about VV. I was more researched on the upcoming drops and what people think are hot at the time and stuff like that, and not so much the underlying token or ecosystem or anything. I just liked collecting the NFTs, and I'll probably never touch that app again for another 5 years or whatever. I don't have the money to put into it, and I don't really want to sell all my NFTs because I love them. I have an emotional attachment to them, and that's what I hope Illuvium gives to a lot of people as well, extending from that, which is really important to me. But I have my R2D2, and I would never sell him.
I want to ask, right? Because with the whole collectible side, because I'm completely oblivious and ignorant to the whole VV. I think I know what it is, and I see kind of headlines around it, but I'm not into it. So one of the things that I just want to ask, just kind of educate me if either of you can, what is the consensus of? Because with NFTs on OpenSea and decentralized marketplaces, we buy it, we own it, and we can sell it and get money back out, right? Whether it's ETH or we can transfer it into fiat, USDT, whatever it is. With correct me if I'm wrong. I've heard that in the VV thing, you buy things with gems because it's through an app store. Once you buy it, is there a way to get those gems back out of that ecosystem?
Walking Feathers in the chat, you're just throwing fuel on the fire here. No, there is not right now.
I can't see.
Oh, right, okay.
Hang on.
Right, and
chat.
What is what's the consensus behind it? Are people just cool with that? And two,
they were for a while because they kept promising that it was coming soon. And we're 2 years later, and here we are.
Well, let me say this. Yes, I'm not buying any more NFTs. I flipped my way from $2,000 to I haven't checked it lately, but I'm probably guessing with the way the floor is right now, I'm probably around 10,000 gems. So I flipped it from 2 to 10, which is pretty good. Some people done better, some people done worse.
Can't complain.
But VV is still selling out.
Yeah.
So somebody's buying. And, MTL is going to come, it's a, but when? So that's why I was selling, because, okay, so what you think is going to come first? Illuvium or VV? What do you think is going to really
Illuvium.
hit hard? Exactly.
I'd say Illuvium, yeah.
So a team of, say, I don't know how many VV's got now, a team of maybe 50 now with outsourcing stuff. And then you got Illuvium with 225, I believe what I heard the other day, and 20-year plus experience, people working on big movie cinemas and stuff like that. So it's, it's a no-brainer which one's going to take off. Do I believe VV is going to take off? I do. I really do. But the question is when.
Yeah.
I think I like holding, because Vivi technically did release the first licensed Disney NFTs in existence.
Yeah.
Okay? And I think that will always hold value. It might not be today, it might not be for the next 5 years, but that will also always have some value. Disney is since putting NFTs somewhere else now, but they won't be the first ever Disney NFT. So just considering that is really interesting. And they're doing some interesting stuff with the OMI token, but they're very slow, and they don't necessarily listen to the community. They're very slow. I don't know why they're so slow, but they just are. So we'll move on to the next topic.
Yeah, move on.
So let's talk the Illuvium beta. Now, we've all had plenty of a chance to play it now. Some of us got wrecked in yesterday's tournament, and some of us got wrecked in yesterday's tournament. So what are your first impressions, poor man? Do you have anything to tell us about how you felt about the beta?
The beta? Okay, so it's good and bad. It's good and bad. I will say the bad first, because everybody knows this. The team knows this. Everybody knows this. It's just survival mode. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all you have. So I can see you playing enough to where you start to get bored, which I haven't, but also work 12 hours a day. So I only get maybe an hour and a half to play a day.
Yeah.
The good, holy shit. The graphics, the gameplay, this game. Okay, a lot of people's like, oh, it's too hard to play, but you got to think about it, dude. Like, you want a game that's hard to play. You want a game where you got to think, you got to look at each alluvial, read everything about it, know what everything it does, though, so you will know which alluvial to put with which alluvial to get the best scenario in survival mode. It's a teaching method, and it's gonna make for really, really good tournaments. But other than that, the graphics, it's freaking amazing. It is.
Yeah.
Like, just on that point, though, I can't think of a single game that has seen mass adoption that isn't difficult or doesn't have a high skill ceiling. So I think what people's concerns are here is that it's too hard to pick up and play. And I wholeheartedly disagree with that. Well, why don't you tell us, TSG, you didn't really have any experience with auto battlers. Did you find it difficult to pick up and play and have fun?
So to have fun, no, not at all. It wasn't difficult to have fun. It's pretty cool, straightforward to do that. No, like, so I'll be honest. Like, I was talking to, I think it was Zeptal or Vulcan. We were talking to Vulcan about it, about like when we were watching others in the backseat playing, thinking that you know what to do, and then when you actually see it in front of you, I personally was overwhelmed. I was like, yo, I don't know what to do. But after like 1 round, 2 rounds, you get the basic. Like, you get the basic fundamental understanding. Like, the skill floor isn't that high to get into the game. But like you say, the skill ceiling is incredibly high, which I think it gives it longevity. To me, it reminds me a lot of Smash Brothers. You can have a couple people come over and just play it for fun, and they can just get into it. Same with Illuvium. You can get your friend to come in, just move some shit out, let them pick out the cute ones, whatever it is, and they kind of understand what's going on. And if they really want to dive in deep, they start learning the competitive side. All right, what are the placements? What are the like synergies and building that thing together? So I think that the skill floor is, yes, a little bit higher than something like Smash Bros or Mario Kart, but it's not like an unreachable skill floor. If you know what I mean. It's like there is a bit more thought that goes into it, like chess. It's like, is the skill floor for chess really that high? No, you just need to know the rules. But once you have that, whether you're good or not, that's up to you. But getting into it's not that difficult. So I kind of have that same comparison.
But
What about you guys?
Even without playing it competitively, and how about
You still have
answer
fun
this
though.
one, poor man? You had a good time, right?
I did. I'll be more excited about the overworld, because that's
Yeah.
more my style. I come from World of Warcraft, so I didn't PvP a whole lot. We raided, you know what I mean? So it was more like gathering resources and stuff like that. So when the overworld, when this game is complete, it's gonna be so awesome. I'm not gonna lie. Like that's why I'm like, okay, I'm eating orange crackers and Vienna sausages right now because I'm throwing, not financial advice, all my money in it because I know what it's gonna do. And if it don't, well, then I'll be wrong. And whose fault is it? Just be mine. Whatever. I don't care.
Yeah. And I think it's been nuts to see the sorry, man, but I think it's been nuts to see the engagement already around, like what you said. The bad thing about this beta is that it's just survival mode. But to see the amount of engagement already, and now you just kind of think about, all right, what's going to happen once we have that open world, once we actually have PvP. If we think what we're getting now is like excitement and hype, what we're going to get when that happens is just going to be like next level. Like we're not going to be able to, and like the streams, people are streaming for hours doing survival. Imagine when you can do open world. Like I know now that I figured out how to stream, I'm definitely going to be knocking that out for like 5-6 hours. I'm probably going to quit one of my jobs and be like, all right, let me just like go ham at this. You know what I mean? It's going to be crazy. Yeah. It's going to be absolute crazy.
I think it's quite interesting because I never really quite understood what Andrew was talking about with his marketing strategy until I've seen it in action. And it's really quite powerful. We've got, let's say, one tiny 1/8, probably less, slice of the pie here. And we've already got streams popping up everywhere. Okay. Andrew has engineered this. Andrew and Kyle together have engineered this perfectly. You've got 20, 30 streams happening all over the place in the Discord, outside of the Discord. It's keeping everyone engaged. What happens when you add something new, whether it's land sale, Illuvatars, and so on, every 3 or 4 weeks, is that engagement builds up so naturally that it's really sustainable and really, really effective. Whereas if you just launched everything at once, you end up with this system where you have this huge burst of engagement and it can die off really quickly. Yeah. But if you build up to it, it's like this crescendo and it's just even more powerful. And I can start seeing that working and going. I can start seeing that in motion, and it really, really excites me.
That's called expansions.
And even the thing that the tournament the Grant orchestrated last night, genius. Like honestly, like it gave a competitive aspect to survival. And also, like you said, in one night, we just had a whole bunch of streams everywhere, reaching somewhat like, I guess, different people. But it was just cool to kind of see like a mass kind of event where you see Illuvium everywhere. And if we can do that more, like, I think that it's going to have real good effects. And the whole like organic growth. Oh, go on, Paul, man.
No, you good. I was just going to say, and as far as marketing, Andrew, like I've been watching Andrew on YouTube for like forever.
Genius.
He is the right person for this job 100%. And he's doing it exactly the way it needs to be done. You're going to have your, fanboys like win. Hey, I get it. But this is a business too. You know what I'm saying? So you just can't rush into it. Andrew's got a plan. Illuvium's got a plan. Kieran, Grant, all the brothers has got a plan. And you just got to sit back and wait. I mean, you're sitting back, not financial advice, but you're making ILV, aren't you? If you're staking.
Yeah. And I think the investor. Oh, go. Sorry.
No. I think of this really simply. Okay. Now we can have it now, or we can have it do really well. And what are the two scenarios? If we have it now, we get to play it. That's fun. That's great. Whatever. If we have it do really well and we delay it, then they have so much more money. Okay. And what can you do with a lot of money? Time is money, right? It's just that simple. The more money they have, the faster mobile launch comes out. The faster they can make new sets of Illuvials because they can hire all the best people around and so on and so forth. So if you want it now when it's not ready, then you're going to pay the price later on. And none of us want that. I know we're investors, and a lot of the people saying when are the people that want to play the game really badly, but it benefits them too. And I know it's hard to see, and I definitely get it 100%, but I agree with Poor Man and TSG, and we're trying to help you guys out here. Trust me, this is the right decision.
Yeah. And actually, this is a perfect segue into like what we were going to talk about next about the Ronin hack. Because if we do rush something out, and something gets overlooked, that's a huge security risk. And what Vulcan mentioned in the previous Augment episode as well was, in crypto, there's so many breaking points. And in something like this is, if you mess something up and it does break, there's it could be a point of no return, right? So it's something that they need to take the security really seriously. And I think, again, take the time. Again, I'm hoping it's not going to take 3-4 years. I don't think it will. But if it's going to take another couple of months, like, what is that in the grand scheme of everything? Like, it's just, I kind of said in the last episode, everyone needs to kind of just take a breath and relax a little bit.
Yeah.
But Paul, Matt, regarding the Ronin hack, were you in Axie? Like, did you have any experience with that?
Man, I don't play with crowns, bro.
Yeah.
No, really.
Yeah.
Well, serious. It's you can make money on it if you got in early. But that's all you're gonna do. Like, I don't care about playing Axie because it looks boring as shit to me, and it's just, I only got so much time. Y'all know I work a day job. I work up a lot of hours. Like, I just don't want to sit there and play Axie. It does not thrill me. I like money, but give me some entertainment. Give me some entertainment. Illuvium, 100%.
Yeah,
100.
And what do you think? What do you think of the risks? Like, after we've considered that, they lost Scars. They lost what, 600 million? Is that what it was?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
I'll be gone.
Yeah, like with that, and we've seen that happen in crypto. Like, with there was another hack. What with oh man, I want to say Bored Apes. Is that, am I making that up?
I don't think that hack.
Nah, okay. But anyway, we know that there are hacks. I apologize for calling them out. Like, what do you think the security risks are for Illuvium? Like, do you think there's something that we really need to be focused? Like, what do we need to focus on there?
Well, they've already hit us for, SILV.
Yeah.
So lesson learned, they called it early because they're on their shit. And how long did it take? Another month, or was it a couple weeks? I can't remember.
It took ages. 2 or 3 months delayed us.
2 or 3,
essentially.
Okay. Give me more security.
Months,
Give me more security. Take away the game for 2 or 3 more months. I'm cool with that. Another thing, if they have a problem with bots, coming into the game and they catch it early, take the game away. Give me 2 or 3 months. Get rid of all the bots. That's what I want. I want a perfect game.
You know what, though? This is a little bit off topic. I'm not condoning it, but I would be extremely impressed if someone could set up an Illuvium bot. Like, Illuvium is such a complex and deep game. That would have to be some serious AI. Yeah. I'm just saying. Like, that's one of the reasons I've been drawn to Illuvium, is because it's deep, which is important in an economy like this. Because really, the most important thing with any economy is you get paid to do work. All right, that's a very simple premise. It's very capitalist approach, but it is what it is. You pay to do work and use that money to whatever, to live or enjoy your life or whatever it is. Okay. In something like Axie or other games that work is clicking a mouse button, obviously that economy is going to implode every single time because they're not getting paid to do work, and it falls apart very, very quickly. In Illuvium, they've built such a system that's not only entertaining and fun to play, which is what play should mean, and play to earn. It should be fun to play, and that's why it's good. But as I said, it takes you a set amount of time and a set amount of effort and knowledge and skill and whatever to get that output, which is your reward for doing that work. And you're essentially helping the system move forward, right? Yep. Which is how it needs to be. And it's really the only way you prevent something like botting, is you create a system where bots can't do it. Robots can't do everything.
Not yet.
As far as that, I want to bring something up. Maybe y'all can give a little feedback on it. So gamers, they don't really know, like the hardcore gamers don't know too much about crypto and wallets and stuff like that. Us in crypto, we know about it, right? So it's easy for us to adapt to a game like this and say it's freaking awesome. I want to hear more from Illuvium of how they're actually gonna take the crypto side and hide it from the real gamers and let this game thrive the way it's supposed to thrive. And that's what I would like to hear about, and what's y'all's take on that?
I actually have a few answers for you.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, you go first. I've got some stuff.
No, you go first. You go first, TSG.
All right. Now you go first. No, I'm just joking. No, so my thoughts are, and I don't know if I heard this from Andrew or whatnot, but I think what you're saying has to happen. 100% it has to happen. Whether that's a top priority, I don't think it needs to be right now. I think the go-to plan is, one, we need to conquer the crypto space fast. The people that are already in crypto and open and susceptible, that's the word, susceptible to NFT gaming, we need to get those people fast. So like, as long as it's not overly complicated, do what it's doing now, kind of get those guys that are educated about it. Once we get those guys, during that period, that's when we start developing and trying to reach outside of that. Because it's like, if you have a circle here who want to get involved, why would you be reaching outside already? It doesn't make sense. Like I said, it needs to happen. Whether that's a priority, I don't think so. I think if this is the circle that wants to play your game or the open to play it, capture this fast. Make sure that this is tight and locked in, and then reach out to start expanding. So again, it needs to happen. Not a priority, in my opinion. Scarix, do you agree? Disagree?
I agree.
I agree. But I actually have a bit of information that I have learnt from Kieran and interviews and things like that that I've heard about. Okay, the first one is IMX. I don't know if they're heavily relying on this, but there's definitely at the back of their mind. IMX is a little bit of a solution to the problem here, where IMX is already working on one of these systems poor man is describing. That's one of the reasons they chose to build on IMX. So sometime in the future, they're hoping not too far away, IMX will actually just release this system you're talking about. And essentially anyone that already has an Illuvium wallet, that is an IMX wallet. So it'll all be interoperable and integrated, and that'll be that. So that's kind of the end goal that, from my understanding at this point in time. I personally think it's going to take way longer than anyone expects, so I wouldn't love it personally. The other side of things is they have discussed multiple times about the free land, well, not land, the free-to-play area, catching T0 alluvials and things like that. You will not need a wallet to click play, okay? That is a big point for them. So anyone, gamer, non-gamer, whatever, can go into the game and try it out, have fun with it, and do whatever if they want to. And there's no crypto barriers preventing them. Now, this is the perfect compromise to me. You have the issue of they're still deciding if the T0s are NFTs. People would like them to be. They'll go on the open market. Integrating all that, I'm not sure, but they might have a great setup for it. By all means, I have no idea. But the big thing here is someone can go in and play, right? And if they go, oh, I really like this, I want to travel to the T1 area, then Illuvium will pretty much give them the steps. Here is how you create a wallet with us. Here is how you buy Ethereum, and so on and so forth. Like, you can even buy with a credit card on MetaMask. So it's actually, when you think about it, I mean, that's the worst way to do it, and we all know that. But it's convenient.
But it's there.
So,
it's there.
It's convenient. So as far as it goes, it's really not that difficult for someone to try the game without knowing any knowledge. Okay, then if they want to play the game, it's going to be very easy for them to click make MetaMask, get their credit card, and put money in it, and then go into T1. So the barrier to entry, instead of making it super easy for everyone, it's a stepped approach, which is perfect.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it definitely has to happen. Like I say, it needs to happen. But yeah, I don't know. And like I think you're right. I think IMX is going to be key to them doing that. Yeah. Yo, Paul man, I was saying, tell us about your plans for land. I heard there's a rumor going around saying that you're going to be one of the guys going for the T5.
Yeah. So I've been saving since I was 2 years old, and right now I have about, I don't know, like $300. So that should get me.
That should be
close.
You might be able to get two of the T5s with that.
Nah, for real, dude. I really want a T2. You know.
Yep.
But I'm not getting excited because I only got so much money to throw at it.
Yeah.
If I get a T1, I'll be happy. But I'll be more happier with a T2 or a T3. Yep. We just don't know. We just don't know. We're gonna start off at a Dutch auction. You know what's the tier 3? Is it
starts at 20?
20 ETH, right? Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go down to T2. We're gonna go to T2, which just
Look,
T2 is
that's 10.
T2 is how much was T2? 8?
Six.
So
God damn.
I'm currently working on the numbers. So before we continue talking about land, we do need to discuss quickly the SILV. I don't want to ruin my future video, but I'm going to go into all of that as much as I can when I have time. But the SILV2, there's 4,000 holders, 4,500 holders or something, and about 3,000 of them have enough to buy a T1 at 0.5 ETH.
Yeah,
25. Yeah, but T1's only going to go to 2, right?
It starts off at 2 and it goes down. And about 3,000 out of 4,500 holders have enough to get it at 25% of its initial starting cost. So it's very hard to predict what's going to happen with the Dutch auction. I think they will come down a lot, and that's the point. Whether those SRV2 whales will kind of like spend buckets, I don't think they're silly enough to do that. I mean, if everyone doesn't have enough money, why would you go and buy them all up at expensive prices when it's going to come down anyways? You would try and front them. If you think it's going to go to 25%, then if you're a whale, you'd be buying at 30%. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're going to stack it, but still, there's just not enough SILV2 for the land sale unless they all come down 10%. I'm going to do all those numbers. I haven't done them yet. But
I was going to ask, what are you guys thinking? Like, because I've heard the consensus is around 50%. People are starting to look at, all right, once it goes down 50%, I'll start. Yeah. What are you guys thinking?
I think 50% too. I'm
looking at below 40.
Below 40.
You think
I think we're going
40,
below 40.
35?
From the calculations I did, the basic calculations, it looks like you get 100% annual ROI at about 40% of the initial starting cost.
Yeah, we've run the numbers, and the numbers is it's okay. Not great. It's okay, but what the blueprints go for.
That was actually gonna be my next question to you, Paul, man. Like, what? So you're saying you want to get a tier 2, maybe a tier 1, but what I was gonna ask you next was, what about land are you actually most excited about?
So it's a combination of things. One, you have fuel, so you can play the game. You can just use your own fuel, right? Okay. And 2, blueprints. Blueprints could go for a shit ton of money. It really could. Because we just don't know how many alluvials is going to get scanned in like one day. Like, what if it's like one alluvial every 2 weeks? You know what I mean? We don't know. We don't know.
Well, so the current number is 1 every 24 hours.
So so
scan
look,
1 every 24 hours.
Okay. How many plots?
But it can fail.
20,000
the scanning processes and stuff can fail.
So
you might have to scan it 6 times.
Okay. Well, still 20,000 plots of land, right? That's not a lot. 1 million players. How many is over 1 million that's already registered to play, right?
Yep.
So 1 million players
on the newsletter. Yeah.
Dude, I think they're going to be really high for skins. I really do.
Yeah.
What I didn't realize until recently was that land tier, I thought it didn't affect blueprints, at least the speed you get them, but it affects the tier of alluvials. I don't know if this is hard, it's just a higher chance or a lower chance, but it affects the tier of alluvials. And stages and tiers are not the same thing. A rampy is a tier 5, okay? That entire line. So the only way to get a Ramfy to a Ramfire blueprint, potentially, or just a much higher chance to find them, you need a tier 5 land. I'm not entirely sure what that looks like, but that's something I did not realize. And I think Skyrox is a tier 4, so I'm screwed.
I mean, you still got a chance, right? Ideally.
Hopefully. I think so. That's how it works with the affinities. So if you have a water land, you have like a 95% chance to find a water alluvial, but you still can find others and things like that. I don't know if tiers work the same. I hope so.
Paul, man, the last kind of question I want to ask about the land for use, because me and Skyrex have already talked about this in the previous episode. Actually, I don't know. We have talked about this particular thing, Skyrex. I'll get your opinion as well. Paul, man, are you looking to buy with Sylv 2 or ETH?
No, SIV SILV2 is what I have.
Yeah.
The cool part about this whole land sale is if people buy it with SILV2, make sure I'm saying that correctly. I've been drinking, so you know how it is.
I say still 2. Yeah.
That's gonna take off the supply
Yeah.
of ILV.
Yeah.
Right. And if they pay with ETH, that's gonna give the token holders rev divs.
Win-win.
It's a win-win.
Win-win.
I don't care,
Yeah.
But me, SILV2 is what I would be using. And I don't want to use all of it because I want to use it in game too. You know what I mean? What if I find something that I really want? I want to have that money ready.
Yeah, that was gonna be my next question. I was gonna be, are you planning on depleting your stash of Silv 2, or are you gonna keep some for Illuvitas and?
Yeah, I will not deplete it.
Game.
Because you got Illuvitars coming out, right? You got all kinds of crazy stuff with that, like glasses, hats.
It's gonna be nuts.
It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. Pipes.
Yeah. And it's infinity. Everybody was like, "Oh, well, we don't want an infinity Illuvitars," but in about 3 months,
you do.
They gone.
Absolutely, do.
They're already working on set 2.
Yeah, already. Yeah, they're gonna be.
Yeah, they finished set 1 a while back. They're just building set 2 now. Which is crazy because I've made art pieces, 3D models, and things like that. I know a lot of people don't really know how much time that sort of stuff takes. I don't know how they do it. It blows my mind. My models are usually a bit different because I've got to usually make them functional or dimensionally really accurate and things like that. But they're doing rigging and joints and animations and things as well. So like I would say like probably even more complex than whatever I do. But to make like a really, really nice model, it can take me like 2 full days. And I'm very proficient at 3D modeling, at CAD. Not like game design modeling, but CAD modeling. I'm quite proficient. It takes a long time, and I can't imagine Illuvitars are much easier. I have no idea how they do everything so fast, but really what I'm learning as I go through my investing journey is invest in the team. The project has nothing to do with it. A good project helps, but if you invest in the team, they will figure it out. And a team that can do things this quickly is unstoppable.
Yeah,
right. They grew quickly too, which is extremely difficult in itself. I could go on all day.
And I just want to add real quick to it. The Illuvitars, they're not pixelated like bull. Like, come on, man, what the hell people buying pixelated stuff for? If it was like a original Mario Brothers or some shit, that'd be cool. But come on, man.
Says an ETH lizard holder.
But actually,
I said says an ETH lizard holder.
Yeah. Well, the ETH lizards got a whole shit ton of utilities behind it.
Yeah. Actually, because I just recently, I won't lie, because obviously you guys know that I have quite a few lizards, and I've sold like 2 recently to get some liquidity. And I just now noticed something, a massive similarity and a massive difference with Illuvitars and everything else. The similarity, because I use that liquidity to go into VFriends too. Gary Vaynerchuk's thing.
Yeah.
Just because I've been a huge fan of him for a long time, and I was like, all right, cool. I was priced out of the VFriends 1. I got liquidity. I was like, all right, let me get into it. And something that I noticed with that project compared to everything else, for example, again, lizards are great, but just everything else is they all pretty much have the same character, and it's just different traits. Whereas what we're going to have now with VFriends is that they have a whole bunch of different characters. And that's going to be the same thing with Illuvitars also, which I think is going to be very, very interesting. It's one of these PFPs where it's not just a whole bunch of atlases with different traits. You have Atlas, Ramfire, you have all of these guys, like all of these. And I think that's just going to add a whole nother layer. And the first time and again, this is just my experience, the first time I saw it was in VFriends. And I've just made that connection right now that Illuvitars are doing the same thing. And I'm very interested to see how that plays out. So I think it's a really interesting thing.
Did you read? I don't know if you watched my last video, or I think it was my last video. I don't know, but they will be able to taunt and like
Illuvitars.
Pull up Info Illuvio. Pull up Info Illuvio. Go to the glossary and click on Illuvitars, and it's right there. Yeah, check it out right now. Show your people. Show your people. Yeah,
interesting.
I'll do it.
I didn't know that. I just kind of stumbled across it. I was like, holy crap. Are they really
But
going
don't
to
forget to go subscribe to Poor Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got like 8 kids, guys. I need help. I mean,
Jesus,
my
you
wife,
busy out
she don't
there.
like me. My girlfriend don't like me. I don't know what I need to do. You know, I'm working on everything, but I spent all my money in crypto, so it is what it is.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, talking about a plug. Yes, subscribe to Scariox, Poor Man. And also, we made a new channel, Augment Clips, where we clip out certain segments. If you don't want to watch the whole
I
thing,
subscribed to that.
Yes, man.
I did.
Go
I like that. I like short clips of good information.
Yeah, man.
Y'all did a good job on that.
The thumbnails are sick, right?
Yeah, it's really sick. I was like, damn, he's getting up there now. I might have to step my game up a little bit.
Yo, man, let's go.
So what are you referring to?
Go to glossary.
Where's glossary?
I might have to go to it. I think it's glossary.
You can search, right?
Found it.
Yeah. Now click on Illuvatars and read it out loud, baby.
Oh, but they could have this wrong. I mean,
they could.
Probably not. They're pretty good, but
they got everything else. So,
but I wonder how they could have like a PFP. Like, I wonder how that would work.
I don't know, but
cool.
That's
you will have a little 3D character on the sidelines in battles, similar to Teamfight Tactics. Your Illuvatar will be able to move around, emote, and taunt your opponent.
Boom.
Okay, this feels like a general chat quote.
Yeah.
To be clear to the audience here, what I'm taking away from this is I would not be shocked if this was definitely in the future plans. That speaks to me. I know a lot of people have commented they want to see something like this because it's a fan favorite feature in Teamfight Tactics. I have a very strong feeling this will not be in the release of the game.
No, of course.
But if this does become a feature they can add in quickly, it will be quite powerful. That'd be an awesome reason to buy an Illuvatar. I've even bought your little pet things in TFT before. I bought a bunch of them. I love them. They're great.
Yeah.
The hard thing I think is so they've got the alluvials already. So that's kind of easy for them to do, right? Just make them smaller, make them a little pet-like or whatever. The accessories and things, I don't know if they're building those accessories, the models for them straight off the bat. They've made all the Illuvatars and stuff. But if the accessories need to go throughout all the future sets, right? So really they would only need to make them once and put them on the alluvial. So maybe it wouldn't be too hard to do. But something tells me that's not going to be in the very first release, but it would be awesome to see that. That would be.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're definitely going to build on stuff, right? On the Illuvatars and whatnot. I didn't even know that was a thing, but if that does happen, like you said, that's going to be awesome. Mm-hmm. Especially if you have if they can customize, like, for example, you say you got the glasses and the pipe. Imagine just seeing, because I want to get the Komodo dragon. That's the one I want to get. Imagine having Komodo dragon with a cap on, some glasses and a pipe, taunting your opponent as you're playing. That would be madness. That would just be madness. Yeah.
And to let everybody know, everything that's spent on Illuvatars goes back to the token holders. Everything.
That's why infinity and an infinite amount is the way to go.
Their tokenomic system is freaking insane. I've only been in crypto for about 1.5 years now, but this is the first time I've ever seen anything like this. And this is another reason why it drew me to the investing part of Illuvium. I'm like, holy crap, man, you see this? This is insane. And then you got Scoriox over there popping numbers out. I'm like, oh shit.
It's really funny because every play to earn game we're seeing in the general space right now is always go up, have an implosion, go, and the community is yelling out, make more token sinks, make more token sinks. But you need people to use them. Illuvium doesn't have any way to inflate the token at all in the first place, and they have way more token sinks and entertaining and useful and fun token sinks than any other project ever has, not even just in crypto, in the world. They've got so many ways to use it, and they're all ways that make sense. That's the big thing. Something like a good thing I like to think of, and I think Andrew said this before, but it might have been someone else as well, is you've got something like Axie Infinity. If you take away blockchain, will people play it?
Nope. No.
Okay.
No.
To extend
Maybe
on that,
and shit.
that one's obvious, right? But to extend on that, right? If you've got Illuvium and you took out any way to earn any NFTs, anything, all right, all of that, if you stripped it all away and you still asked someone if they wanted to pay to travel to an area and catch things that aren't NFTs, if you told them to pay to play this game, do you think they would still do it?
I can tell you this. Yeah. I could care less about an auto battler. I come up playing World of Warcraft and playing it for years, and I love this game. So if you could take a person who's coming from an MMO, did I say that correct? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. MMO, yeah.
MMO, yeah. So and put me in an auto battler, which I don't care about Pokemon. I didn't grow up with Pokemon. I could care less. But this game is very interesting to me, and I love playing it. And we only have survival mode, so yeah, that's what I'm going with.
Even from my experience, and again, because like you, Paul, man, I work like hella out, like 14 hours a day, so I don't have time to play games. Yeah, but ever since I've had access to the beta, I've been like not every day, but like there've been days where I've sat down and like not showered and played 2 hours after work. Like I can't even remember the last time I put 2 hours of my life into a video game in one sitting. Like that was like 6, 7, 8 months ago. And I'm doing that pretty much on the daily every 2 days now. So if that doesn't say something about the game, I honestly don't know what does. Yeah.
It's fun.
TSG, have you played Monster Hunter?
Nah, I have. I did on the PSP, but I was like young and I didn't actually understand it. I just thought, just big swords, big monsters. But yeah.
Have you played Monster Hunter, poor man?
I never played it.
No.
Because I didn't realize this until relatively recently as well, is Aaron's goal for the overworld is Monster Hunter.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see the comparison. And I think it's going to do well. Obviously, Monster Hunter's had a huge rise recently because it was big in Japan and the East, right? And it's blowing up hella in the West now. What with the Switch, the new Switch game that came out, Monster Hunter. What is that? Ice World. Yeah, that was Rise for Switch, and then they had World for
the PS4
for the consoles. Yeah,
and a shock they didn't do it again, but whatever.
Yeah.
I seen a movie.
But I think, you said there's a movie.
Let's not talk about the movie.
Is that the movie? Is that the right? Is that the right game?
Yeah, that's the right one. That's the right one.
I didn't even know there was a movie. I didn't even know there was a movie. But yeah, I think that's a dope comparison. And again, like you kind of go in, there's a set area that you kind of conquer. You go back. You want to go back there, you can, and it's just rinse and repeat. So I think it's a really, really good comparison, and I think it's going to do well.
I think Monster Hunter, you guys should definitely go back and play it properly. It is a fantastic series. I absolutely love it. It's a bit time intensive, which is the reason I can't play it so much anymore because it's very collectathon though. But if they want to go with that system, it is incredible. It's beautiful. And it's also, you can see the inspiration now because the blueprints are based on it. So how Monster Hunter works is you go and you kill a monster, right? Let's call it a Rathalos, the most famous Monster Hunter monster. Basically, you need to get all of its materials if you either kill it or capture it, okay? For example, during a fight, you can take your sword and you can cut off its tail, all right?
Yep.
You need to put in a lot of effort and a lot of skill to manage to take out its tail, but you can. You can chop it off. You can carve the tail during the fight while it's breathing fire on you or whatever, and you can grab some materials. And you can use those materials to craft armor and things like that.
Yeah.
That is the inspiration they've drawn on for blueprints, because how the blueprints work is you get the blueprint, which is kind of like the crafting recipe, and then you take 3 atlases and you burn them, and you create this material that you infuse with a weapon with your crafting recipe, allowing you to do it. You fuse them together, and then you get your cosmetic item that is that weapon looks like an atlas, or it has atlas features and things like that. And that is quite literally Monster Hunter. I have a video covering it all. You guys can watch it if you need. It's actually a really good explainer. But it's something worth looking at because Monster Hunter has always done this really, really well. And if they head in that direction and keep the auto battler and stuff for PvP, it's quite something. I think Monster Hunter, the problem is it didn't attach to Western audiences too well. But as soon as they put it on a console everyone had access to, because its big issue was its Nintendo exclusivity. As soon as they put it on PC and PS4, it blew up, as TSG said. It did very, very well because it is a very good game.
Yeah, well, that's another thing. Like, so with land and scanning alluvials to get these skins, like, do we know what they're gonna kind of look like? You know, like, does
I made a guess. I made a guess, but if you look at the Monster Hunter skins, it's not going to be far off that.
Okay. And
so I'll send you some. I'll send you some stuff. We'll look it up now.
You forgot to tell everybody about the new thing that's coming out. It's the augments.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't know what that.
I haven't actually been.
Did they make more announcements?
No, they haven't. Man, they talked about it, and they're going to do it.
Yeah.
But
I know that they're working on that.
To me, and we was talking about it today, Scoriox and Telegram, but like to me, an augment is like, I don't know, like a potion or a talent, a talent point system, because I come from World of Warcraft, and I don't know exactly how they're gonna do the augments and what it would reflect on, or
I've heard that Augment is it's a really, really great podcast hosted by Scarix and TSG. So make sure you guys subscribe. Sorry, I saw the opportunity.
Hey, go for
it. No, I'm just playing.
I'm just sitting there looking at my exposure on the camera, and it's really
it's not the greatest, but it's all right.
I just want to let everybody know, I'm redoing everything in my office, and I had 45 minutes, maybe 50 minutes, Scoriox to get ready. And I got this mechanical arm with 2 screens, 34-inch ultra wide.
Walking Feather commenting on the couch. My couch is soft as hell. It is amazing.
Oh, okay.
She wants my couch. It is amazing.
So if you guys check this out quickly,
cool.
I'll just show you that. So that's one of the monsters. Now there are lots of them. There's lots of them now. They keep releasing new ones with every edition and so on and so forth. That's one of the monsters. That's called the Rathalos. When you get its materials, you can actually go through and craft a series of different weapons and armors that have similar attributes to it as well. If a Rathalos is resistant to fire, so will its armor, and so on and so forth. And they've got thousands of these things.
That is
but these all kind of look like a Rathalos. They're not a Rathalos, but they look really similar. I mean, they're all red, which is the obvious giveaway, but the colors, materials, the way it looks, and everything. You basically use the materials from that to craft these things and upgrade them and stuff like that. And it's a really cool system. And if you want to kind of consider what the weapons and things might look like, the armor's probably the better one. I don't know if armor's here. Just quickly, Rathalos armor. The armor's probably more inspirational. You get something where your person kind of looks like a Rathalos. It's really cool. So if you're imagining your ranger when you're running around, or even when you're in the auto battler and stuff, looking something like this.
That's sick.
It's really deep. It gets really deep really fast.
So when they say skins, see, I'm picturing a skin on my Luvatar, but it's going to be more of a skin for what's the girl's name?
Well, Arlen. You're not going to be playing as Arlen.
It's weapon and armor skins.
Yeah, weapon and armor skins.
You won't be playing with the girl?
No. Arlen's the main character.
Arlen?
Oh, yeah. She's a part of the story.
You'll be playing you're playing as a side ranger.
Yeah. One of her crew.
One of her side pieces.
I just want to be a dude. That's all I care about.
I think you can the wrong impression. I can't remember.
Yeah, you 100% can. You 100% can.
Okay, so
guys,
move on we're already at last topics.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's 50. We're 55 minutes in. Let's do a hard segue into the big thing: Elon Musk taking over Twitter. Myself and Scarix, so we're in Australia, so Twitter's not the biggest thing for us. Poor Man Printing, I'm sure this is you guys and your friends around America are way bigger into this. What's your take on that? And what are your feelings on the consensus that's going out right now?
Well, I was having a discussion today on Twitter with a certain someone, but I think it's great, and I'm going to tell you why. Taking the political part away, don't look at that. Look what Elon supports: Dogecoin, right, which is crypto, Bitcoin, right? You see what I'm saying?
You're killing me.
Elon is my daddy. Hell yeah, I'm talking about walking fella. You're not talking like that. You're just a little old girl. But so crypto and everything he touches thrives. Look at Tesla. I had Tesla back in the day. Didn't know what it was. I bought a crap ton of it. And I was sat on it for a little while. It dipped down. I didn't know much about trading anything back then. So I sold it. what a freaking idiot.
Yeah.
So I look at it like that. Free speech. I'm all about American values. I'm just going to say that. I'm all about American values. And I think he's going to get rid of all the bots. And I think more companies and more people, they already are. There's more people coming to Twitter now already. So I think it's a great thing. I really do.
What about you, TSG?
Yeah, honestly, I've honestly just started to get more into Twitter after making like YouTube content, NFTs, because obviously that's where the space is, right? Because in Australia, in general, we don't really use Twitter like that. Not that I'm aware of anyway. But man, it's kind of blown me away what the consensus is like, how everyone's like hating on Elon taking over Twitter. Like, I don't.
And that's the left and the right. Left and the right. They're equal.
Like, the idea of, like, he's a billionaire and he's going to control it. I get that. But if he's out here saying like, he's ill-intentioned and he's like, I'm banning these people. The things that he's saying is, I want more free speech. I want to allow people to go out there and say what they want to say. Obviously, there's going to be rules like stopping like threats of violence, things like that. There are going to be things in place. But you shouldn't be, and this is just like, I'm going to go into like a philosophical thing now. Sure. But like as a teacher, my whole thing is we shouldn't be banning conversations. If you disagree with it, debate it. Actually debate it. Because over the long period of time, the better argument will win. So it's like, let them at it. The younger generation is going to kind of learn from the older. They're going to hear the ideas like we hear our parents speak and we're like, man, your idea is just stupid now. But if we didn't even hear it, it's not useful at all. Having that out there, yes, there's going to be like, it's impossible to create a perfect world. So to kind of curate that, I'm just realizing it now. We're so used to social media and Instagram where we all curate a perfect life that we're trying to do the same thing as a society. We're trying to curate, no, this is what is right. And it's just absurd. Like, let it all play out. Let people just discuss and debate. Intellect will always win out in the end, in my opinion, over the long run. Short term, it might not win. Socrates was voted to get executed by his peers. So short term, it might not win. But long term, I think intellect will come out on top. And we need to let that play out. The same as an open market. Controlling that shit just doesn't make sense to me. I think let things play out in the natural way that it should. And it all will be better. So I'm a huge fan of Elon doing what he's doing. Like what Jeff Bezos has Washington Post. All of these guys have all of these, like, it just, yes, a billionaire is doing billionaire things.
Yeah.
Like, like, what are you going to do? Like, what are you going to do? Yes, Skyrox, go for it, man.
Yeah. To me, there's two major facts here. The first one is that even Elon said it himself, there are better investments out there. There's other investments he could put into and he would make more money. I don't believe in just trusting anyone for their word. So even though he's saying it's all about free speech, that's not necessarily true. But I do believe, considering there are better investments out there, we have to consider that there are motives bigger than money for him to buy Twitter, okay? And 100%. That brings me to the second fact. Elon, a lot of people talk about Elon in a really interesting way where he never really built anything. He built his first company, okay? He had a large amount of startup capital from his family to do so. He built it and sold it and did really well. His other companies, Tesla and SpaceX, he actually bought them after they were not profitable and not doing particularly well and stuff like that. But this is the second point I want to bring up. Everything he has bought and built up with his name on it has improved, become profitable, done better, become useful. It has gone up in value, okay? I'm not saying history is always repeating itself.
Yeah.
But if you take that at face value and don't look deeper into it, then in theory, Twitter isn't profitable, it loses money every year. If he buys Twitter and makes effective changes like he already wants to, clearly, then in theory, it should also improve and go up in value. Just based on history. I'm not talking about anything else here. I'm trying to be very black and white, and I know that's not the best way to look at this, but it should be worth considering.
Yeah.
I agree.
And I think it's going to be massive for crypto as well. Not like I won't say massive, but I think it's going to have positive connotations for crypto as well. Because obviously, like Poor Man said, he's a huge advocate for crypto. Twitter, especially in America and globally, is where, like, I forget who it was that where I saw this, but it's interesting. Like, the Washington Post shares news on Twitter. All of these news sites, like owning the news publisher is kind of useless now because they go to Twitter. So it's the same thing now with like crypto. Like everyone is using Twitter as the town square. That's the comparison everyone's kind of saying, right? So if that's the town square and the owner of the town square is an advocate for crypto, the ripple effects, like it seems inevitable in my opinion. So I think the more integration that he comes up with, it's just going to kind of slowly take over one person at a time, and it's just going to kind of just unravel. And like I said, it's going to be a long-term thing. It's not going to be like, all right, next week, everyone's on crypto. It's not going to be that. Nah. But I think, yeah, long-term.
I agree.
Yeah. Do you have any closing thoughts on the whole Elon thing? Because like we're over an hour and we could wrap this up.
Just have to wait and see, you know.
Yeah.
I know it's going to be good. It's going to be a good thing. It's going to be a good thing for in crypto. As far as a platform, just like Scoriox said, I believe Twitter's gonna make a change, and then you're gonna start seeing some trends up, brother.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be a good thing, but I think everyone's going to be really impatient. I think this is one of those things that's going to be a really slow improvement. And a lot of people are not going to see that. They're going to be like, oh, nothing's changed. What's happening? It's going to take a while to fix something like this and make it into a better place. But once that happens, everyone will look back and be like, cool.
Well, it's going to take, 6 months for him to even start taking over, right? 6 months before he starts taking over. Then you've got to like adjust the team. You got to like get rid of people, get new people. That's a process in itself. So yeah, man, it's going to take like a year at least, 2 years at least before we start seeing any significant changes. Again, that's just speculation. I'm not actually sure, but I think I'm pretty good with time frames.
Yeah, it's going to take time. Take time for anything.
Yeah.
Okay, we better start wrapping it up. Thanks heaps for joining us, Poor Man. We really appreciate it. Definitely go check out his channel. He's got some really funny videos, some funny streams too. Link is in the description. Again, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Augment will be on here every second week, so don't forget that. And of course, Augment clips. Don't forget to subscribe over there. If you missed any of the earlier topics, you can rewatch this, of course, but you can also go and watch those clips there, and they're going to have some nice little tidbits.
Awesome.
I mean, this one chopped up, so it's a bit easier to view if you're only interested in certain topics, or if you miss this show every week and you might be like, okay, I only want to watch a couple topics every week. That is going to be a great place to do it. So definitely go check that out.
Yeah. And before we go, I just want to say, make sure you subscribe to Scarix as well. He doesn't plug himself, but definitely do that.
Can we add like yoga stretching on Augment YouTube channel?
Yeah, 100%, man. That was our next venture.
I like to watch people stretch and get different.
I mean, me and Scarix can stretch. We can definitely do that for you guys. Some ASMR, anything else, mukbangs. We can knock that out.
Yeah, we have to find somebody.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. We are out.
See ya.
Peace.